Vague refers to something that is unclear or imprecise in its meaning or intention. Inconsistent, on the other hand, refers to something that does not remain the same or is not uniform in its behavior or quality.
We'll see how it goes, because it always switches us when it actually posts.
Yeah.
Guess who's back? Back again. Vague Pod's back. Boy. Please tell a friend.
Please.
Those 4 people have been sitting on pins and needles waiting.
Yeah. They have.
I am not better than groveling, people. Please come
that one person in Norway is like, well, it's my podcast. That was my Norwegian accent.
Norwegian. Wow. But that okay. So when I take my Norwegian cruise, I can expect to hear a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It'll sound like a homeboy in Frozen. Oh, we have the carrots.
See, that actually would be kind of awesome. Go right on that cruise and hear that. Man, I'm gonna want rope, carrots, coat, some boots.
Going on the Norwegian Disney cruise, and like half of the people get up and leave during that scene. They're just like, nope, I'm offended now.
Disney's racist again.
Oh man, that would be so good.
Okay, so we're back. I know you all missed us. Duke was at EDC and had 0 cell phone signal. And then Duke was party hungover last week and forgot about us.
So party
Lou
hungover.
and I just sat here for like half an hour crying. Where's Duke at? Why doesn't he love us?
I missed the beard. What the hell? Ruined all my dreams that week.
Did you have fun at EDCD? Because that shit seems annoying as fuck to me. I don't like the music. I don't like kids. I'm not sleeping in the desert for 3 days. It was fun. The nice thing is that 95% of the time you have earplugs in, so you're not hearing most of the idiots talking anyways. So I guess just in case the 3 or 4 people who are listening, the half a dozen people that are when we hit big, when we get our viral moment, when Ice Cube shouts us out. You, bro, get it right. Don Dada.
Sorry, I just started watching the Lollapalooza documentary, and Ice-T is in that a bunch, and he is hilarious.
Yeah, he did a lot of Lollapalooza. Yeah.
So just to step back a bit, so EDC is an annual show that they have every year in Vegas. There's versions of it that happen around the country and around the world, but their biggest event is in Vegas, and it stands for Electric Daisy Carnival. So it's electronic music. I believe they said 500,000 people. I should actually ask Jack to look up to see how many people got arrested and or medically transported from there. Not
a lot. That's actually news here. There were no major events reported at EDC. So when we first had it, they did it in June. It's hot as fuck here in June. Everybody's on ecstasy. Them motherfuckers died.
Yeah.
They died at the show. Some of them were still high. They ran across the 15 because it's right there at the speedway on the 15. A couple of them got splatted. It was bad. So then that's when they kicked it back to May. I think they did 2 Junes, and they're like, nope, it's too damn hot. All these people are dying. So they kicked it back to May, where it's a little more cool here. It's still a little warm, but
the potential of it being cool is a lot more than it is in June.
Oh yeah.
So I think the hottest day was Friday, and it was 97. But then on Sunday, it dropped. It was like high 80s, and at night it actually dropped down to like 65. So that's
still too damn hot. No.
Agreed. So this will be my second year going. The first year we stayed in a hotel and drove in every night, and it was terrible. It was my very first night going. It took me 7.5 hours to get there from the hotel.
Fuck that.
We left at like
I left in a lift at like 8:30 and we showed up there at like 2. Like it was crazy. The guy was like, and I think he was relatively new, because he had no idea what was happening. I think they fixed a lot of that. They've streamlined a lot of the pickups and drop-offs and that type of thing. But it's also at the Speedway, which is normally like 20 minutes from the strip, 25 minutes from the strip. But it's probably one of the few times of the year that things get just way out of control for multiple hours of the day. I would imagine even a lot of the sporting events that happen out there, I would think aren't that bad over an entire weekend.
It's just NASCAR. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Because it was built for NASCAR. It wasn't built for 500,000 kids with their glow sticks and shit.
And so this year, the group that I went with, we decided to do the camp. So there's actually a camping portion that's attached to the festival. And so basically you get a pass. They put you out on a parking lot. There's an asphalt parking lot that they cover part of it in grass, put tents up for people, and then have air conditioners in all the tents. But they're the emergency shelters. We were in an RV that had power. So we were in a section of the camp where there was they had generators. They had rented generators for the entire weekend. I can't imagine how much that would cost, but we had power all weekend. So we had air conditioning all weekend in the RV, which made it way more tolerable. We got there on Thursday, so the event doesn't actually start until Friday night. So Thursday night, they actually had a whole thing set up. There's a kind of a central community area in the camp, and they called it the Mesa, but they had a stage there and they had DJs playing all day and all night. So it's like you almost got like a bonus day of music, which was super cool, because the only people that got that music were the people who were camping. You couldn't just come in on Thursday and say, "Hey, I have a ticket." Like, you had to be camping there. And so it was nice. I think they did a lot better job than they have in the past. In the past, Thursday's kind of just still been like a setup day for them. And it felt like this year they were like, okay, well, we need to have some events and stuff like that wrapped around the people who are camping, instead of just having the pool open. So they have like an above ground pool. It goes up to like your knees, but Bacardi sponsors it. So of course there's Bacardi bars and stuff like that. And it gives the girls an opportunity and guys to show off more during the day than in the evenings. So then it was Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. And we saw like 9 of the big shows, only intended on seeing one sunrise. We ended up seeing 3 sunrises. We ran into a group of people that we knew from up here. And so we spent a lot of time with them, which was super cool. Always good when you have a group. There's a lot of things that are wrapped around the event, drugs and non-drug related. There's things that, if you go with a big group, they have things called totems, where you basically design some sort of picture or a figure that you can put on the end of a pole that you can say, hey, because it's a huge thing. It's 8 stages. I can say, hey, Jack, I'm standing next to the owl statue, and it would still take us 45 minutes to find each other, because it's so huge. Like, it's so packed with people.
If you had an iPhone, I saw that Mandalorian commercial with the iPhones. I'd be able to find you.
Yeah. But with that being said, if there was no cell phone reception, so that was the other part. Yeah. So they actually, the text messaging, I think they got this year Verizon sponsored it, and they brought out a couple of those emergency, like the emergency satellites or the emergency antennas for when there's like weather events or natural disasters, that basically will let you make phone calls and let you text, and that's it. And I'm guessing the company that runs EDC, Insomniac, like paid for their app to work, like to prioritize their app above everything else. But so 2 weeks ago, like when I tried to join you guys, I would click on it and it would just sit and spin. And that's how I felt. I was sitting and spinning.
Sounds like a good night.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people on a lot of drugs. Like it was quite a spectacle. I'm not saying I did any drugs, but I'm also not saying I didn't do any drugs, just in case I do decide to run for office at some point and this video surfaces.
A 34-time felon and still run for
exactly.
it.
Exactly. There you go.
Still voting for him.
See?
It makes me more MAGA than I was before.
Again, he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and it wouldn't matter. And that's true.
I mean, if the other choice is Biden, that is a very true statement.
I'm going to write myself in. Fuck it.
There you go. There you go. I got you. I'll vote for you.
We'll be the podcast of America at that point.
Which America? The central, what is it, the Civil War, the central eastern states, or Florida, or the Western Alliance?
So the people that you go with, was it their idea? Are they into that music, or was it like a social aspect of like, fuck yeah, we're doing drugs all weekend in Vegas? So what prompted you to go? So
many years ago, I would say probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, me and a couple of a girl that I play softball with and her girlfriend, the three of us all enjoy the music. And yep, there you go. Exactly. And we were like, hey, it'd be funny if we took our other friend, who's very like, at the time, he's very straight-laced and very always looking for the loopholes and always looking for the angles to, be able to kind of take advantage of situations, right? And so when I went last year, I went with just him, and it was fine, but it took me a couple days to figure out how it worked, right? It's one of those things, like literally music starts at 6 a.m. and doesn't finish until 7, or it starts at 6 p.m. and finishes at 7 a.m. So the reality is every night you have 13 hours of music, 8 stages playing, right? And maybe 20 years ago, I might have been able to do that. Today, though, daddy ain't made for standing on his feet for 13 hours. And that was one of the downsides, is if you go in like a 20-year-old or 22-year-old thinking, yeah, I can still conquer the world. I'm over that shit. I got over that shit like 10 years ago. I'm just trying to make it to 50 and then we'll figure it out. So I figured, like, when I figured out that you didn't have to go for 13 hours every night, it was like a big light switch for me going, oh, I can really enjoy this. And the camping aspect being right next to the event meant that I could stay in an air-conditioned RV. If the first person I wanted to see didn't start performing until midnight, I didn't even have to leave my RV until 11 p.m. And so I'm sleeping, we're getting up, we're eating food, we're relaxing, we're chilling, we're, getting everything chopped up and ready to go. And then we walk out the door at 11 and just walk right into the event. And then the person we want to see is playing. And it was so much better. The biggest problem is last year when I went, I enjoy the music. He just wanted to go for the experience and for the social aspect of it. I think he expected a lot more interaction with people, because that's kind of one of the lines of marketing for their videos and stuff like that, is like, right, you could show up there and make new friends. And people have met at this place and have gotten married and they have kids now. And they make lifelong, they make lifelong friends and all this kind of stuff, right? Which is all, if that's what you're looking for and you're a certain age, I think that comes a lot easier, right? When you're younger and you can go into a group and, I've discovered this in talking to people that are younger, and I'll make an offhand joke about some movie from 20 years ago or 25 years ago. And they'll be like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, it came from X movie. And they were like, well, when did that come out? And I'll say 1999. And they'll say, oh, I was 2. And you just go, oh, like, if you had more in common, if I was 20 years younger, it would be, as far as the social aspect, it would be a lot different for me. But instead, I'm going because I enjoy the music. And so this year, when the girl I played softball with and her girlfriend joined us, it was the 4 of us that stayed in the camp together. The 3 of us had an amazing time because we all really like the music. and they had never been to something like this before. And I could sit here for 45 minutes and talk about how overwhelming it is and talk about all the stuff that comes with it, or the experience, and it won't do it justice. Like, literally, I'm like, guys, just be warned, it's fucking loud. And they walk through and they're like, holy shit, I was not expecting this. And I'm like, I tried to warn you. Like, you know, I it's one of those things. Like,
there's no prep for that, though. You can't really warn. It's like telling somebody about Comic-Con. Hey, it's really big and it's nonstop, and you're going to run into a bunch of people just because it's crowded. And then they're like, yeah, okay, fine. And then they go for the first time. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and that's what it sounds like, the way you're describing.
Yeah, but it's like that. It's like Comic-Con if the volume was turned up to 12. If Hall H was like piped into the vendor room at like the loudest possible level that you could have it, and they had the bass turned way up. So you walk in and literally you're. What was that?
And 3 times as many people, too, the way you're describing it. Because Comic-Con's about 160,000. You're talking about 500,000. So, holy shit.
Yeah, over the course of the weekend. I think they were saying it averaged 180 to 190 every night. And, I think that's the other difference is, like, Comic-Con, you're not seeing people fucking tripping balls. You might see a couple tripping balls, but the whole, like... I would venture to say probably 50% of the people are on something. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, right? Everybody goes and enjoys things like this however they want. That's not me judging, right. But you know, when you walk into an event and you go, holy shit, like if something, it's one of those things, like, again, you get to an age too, where you look at it and you go, oh my God, what if something does happen? You know, you think back to the Las Vegas thing and those types of things where you're just like, holy shit, like if a stage was to catch on fire, if somebody were to light fireworks, right? Like not even something as actually dramatic or as dangerous as kind of the mass events, right? The mass shooting events and those types of things. Like, if somebody were to just be a stupid idiot and just light off fireworks that would cause a stampede, like, holy shit. Like, I couldn't imagine what that would be, right? Like, it's such a, you just get, the scale of it is just so overwhelming. But for me, the biggest differences between last year and this year is going with people who actually enjoyed the music, and we could go and we could just stand and we could vibe together and we could watch the music and all of us are enjoying it. We might not all be enjoying it in the same exact way, but we're all there together. You know, one of those things where at some point you all hug and you say, I'm glad that I'm here with you guys. You know, like I wouldn't trade this night for anything else. To me, there's a lot to be said for that, you know, because it is an emotion. There is a level of emotion that comes along with that, right? Again, it's the people when you're at Fenway Park. Yeah, exactly. Well, when you're at Fenway Park and seventh inning comes up and everybody's singing Sweet Caroline together, right? And they turn off the music and it's just everybody singing, and there's like a connection that you have with all of these people just for that moment that I don't know. To me, is pretty cool. And so, yeah, so it was 3 nights of that. We saw a lot of the big name people, which was very cool. Also saw a couple of people that were on that weren't like super well known, but put on a really, really good show. You know, so it was 3 nights of that, which was pretty cool. The weather was pretty decent. Friday was nothing but the jets from Nellis flying back and forth all day, which was pretty cool. When you wake up to like F-22 jets, just like knowing that you're there and are like, oh, I'm going to wait until I get to the edge and then I'm going to punch it.
Wake these kids up.
No shit. Huh? I thought they did a really good job. I really enjoyed it. And, if the timing works out, we'll be probably going back next year, you know, because that's the other thing. Cool. There's 8 stages. There's 13 hours of music on all of those stages for 3 nights. We saw 9 acts, so we didn't even see like a quarter of the people that performed there. You know, you could actually probably go back 4 or 5 times if you enjoy the music, the different types of music they play, and have a completely different experience with a completely different set of artists every year and have a different time, you know? So, but yeah, it worked out really well. Me and the guy left Portland on Tuesday, drove to Reno, met the girls in Reno. We picked up an RV in Reno because renting an RV in Vegas on that weekend is just non-starter.
Yeah.
It was $150 a night to rent it in Reno, which is 8 hours away, give or take, versus $800 a night in Vegas. Like, at that point, you might as well just get a fucking hotel room, you know, like.
How much were the tents? Drive. Did you look into the tents?
The tents were $1,500, I think, 15 to 17. So
how many people did they sleep?
They had two people tents and 4 people tents, but you could have a camp pass gave you eight wristbands, right? You could sign 8 people up. So the reality is, even though it's just a 4-person tent, you could put more. We did see people sleeping outside, like out in front of the tent, where obviously they were associated with that tent. Right. But they would just be out in a sleeping bag out in front, because for some people that's more comfortable, because the tents are while they're the rescue tents and they have an air conditioner in them. Like, the air conditioner isn't like a small thing; like, it's taking up a good quarter of the space, you know.
Nope, and outdoors. I'll pass.
Lou and I are like, nope, fuck that. Where's my hotel at?
Well, and that's the thing. One year I am interested. So they do actually have a hotel now so they have like a sponsor hotel they call Hotel EDC that actually has stuff going on during the day. You get like an exclusive shuttle that, as long as you're staying at the hotel in the EDC part of the hotel, like, you get a special shuttle that goes to the EDC that has like its own, you know, it gets to bypass a bunch of the crap on the freeway and stuff that a lot of the other people don't get to do. I'd be interested to try that just to see. Like, now I've done it where I've been staying in a hotel just on my own and then shuttling in every day or lifting in every day. And now I've done the camp part. I would be curious to try the hotel part to just see the pros and cons of each, right? Because you go onto Reddit or you go onto Twitter or whatever, and you say, hey, what's it like at the hotel? And it's 50-50. It's, I had a great experience, or, it wasn't worth it. Or, again, I also think you put into it what you get out of it, right? If you go into the camp with this mentality of, I'm going to meet all these people, and then you don't meet anybody for whatever reason, right? Circumstances are as they are. You might come away disappointed, where if we met a whole group of people, then cool. Like
meet people to hook up or what?
Well, just whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, whether you're looking to hook up or looking to just make friends. I mean, some people just want friends. So, because again, these events do happen all across the country and all around the world. Sometimes it's fun to just meet people who come from different parts of the country or different parts of the world. And, hey, I had a 14-hour drive. What was yours? I had an 18-hour flight because I came from somewhere in Europe, and you go like, well, what made you come? What made our one Norway guy is now like, nope.
These guys are racist. Unsubscribe.
So those types of stories I think are always cool. Like, what would make somebody go, I'm going to get on a plane and travel for 18 hours. We'll be having that. Well, again, yeah, we'll be having that discussion in less than a year at this point. Where did you guys come from? We came from so and so on. Well, why did you come to this one? But definitely was feeling it afterwards too. Like the kind of like when you have such a high and you're going for so long and then having that just disappear. There was definitely like a hole or like a gap that was created that,
right. Yeah, you still sounded rough when you finally showed up last week.
Yeah.
When we were trying to do this, you still sounded rough. You sound way better. You sound normal now, but last week you're like,
Yeah.
Well, part of that is he said he had the con crud too. So
yeah, I definitely caught the con crud, but there was also an emotional part of that too. Like there's just, when you're so oversensitized and then it all just disappears. Like your brain has a really hard time kind of coming back to real world stuff. Like it's very strange. I don't think that's happened to me very often, but yeah. But it was a really good event. I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad that I got to experience it for my friends' first times. I was very much able to kind of lean into their first time and kind of, feed off of that. Because for me, in a lot of ways too, it was my first time going with people who enjoyed the music and knew the artists and wanted to go and do it, like because of that reason. There was the last night I was pretty out of it. By that point, my body was pretty much like, okay, we're done. We've had enough. And we were standing in line for water, and we decided to do onesies, which is we were told is a super rookie move, but it was also 65 degrees and windy. So we felt like maybe we won that night. We picked a good night for onesies. And so we were in line at the water station, and this girl comes up to me and says, "Can I pet you?" I say, "Sure." And then I turn around and she goes, "Oh, you have a beard." And in my head, all I'm thinking of, I need water. Like I was so dehydrated at that point. Like you couldn't drink enough water to stay hydrated at all. Like even if you were just constantly in front of the water fountain, just drinking, and at that point on Sunday, I was so dehydrated. All I could think about was the water. And the second the faucet opened up, I was like, I'm going to go get water. And I went and I kicked myself for like 2 days. And then I asked my friends, I go, okay, that girl that came up to me, like, should I be regretting what didn't happen? And they were like, no, I mean, she had an okay body, but she definitely had a butter face. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I felt you turned that girl around. You passed up. Right? You passed up Punani for parchment. No.
Strange, bruh.
That's the name.
Bring some Pedialyte and then stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's my lesson learned for this year is bring some Pedialyte. I'll bring a case of Pedialyte for next year. Yeah. But Lou was so disappointed. Also, well, I didn't have my wingmen with me. My wingmen weren't there.
It's true.
Just saying. Yeah, you were here going, where is he? Why isn't he here?
Right. I'm just sitting back waiting. Like, when am I getting booby pics? What the hell?
I'm working on it. I am working on it.
Were the people that went with you were they all single? Like, did they try to hook up?
No, it was a couple, and then the guy has a girlfriend. So I was the only single one. So that made it again. That's one of those things that kind of makes it a challenge too. Is like, if you're going with a bunch of people,
you hook up with somebody, you got people with you. They know who you are. Somebody's got to hold the camera. Shit.
That's true. Lou, we should have talked about this way more before I went on my trip, because obviously I need to buy you a ticket. So next year.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, no problem.
Lou, here's some earplugs that are going to completely block out all of the sound, so you don't have to hear any of the music. And then you just walk around with me, and we'll.
Yeah, rolling. We got this.
All right. Mark it on the calendar.
I'll start growing my beard out now.
There we go. There you go. But no, I mean, I'm a big advocate of the VIP. There's 3 levels. There's GA, there's GA plus, and VIP. To me, just VIP is worth it. You just get your own section at like half of the stages, and for the most part, those areas are way less populated than the GA area is. You get nicer bathrooms now. Yeah. Well, we'll see, because
nicer bathrooms would be relevant, though. Oh, you had your camper though, so
yeah. So, but no, it was a really good time. So, thank you for asking.
This is not something I have zero interest in that. It is not my scene at all.
I'm with you, buddy. I would go just to make sure Duke gets laid and some titties.
See, that would be fun. If you and I went, we would go to cause trouble. We'd probably get kicked out.
Easily.
We could get Duke late.
Oh, we'd be making fun of oh my god, we would be pushing so many buttons.
Right?
Never mind, not invited. Hang on, let me cancel my tickets right now for you guys.
He's like, oh, they don't give us 8 wristbands for the tints anymore. Oh,
sorry guys.
We have just enough for my crew. My bad. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys in mind. Keep you guys on the list. And there goes the velvet rope.
Oh man.
Well, Lou's had an exciting couple of weeks too. He wrecked 2 cars.
I didn't wreck shit. Lewis
wrecked 2 cars and wrecked one of those twice.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so no joke, y'all. This is, what is today? Thursday. So 8 days ago, last Wednesday, met my girl in one town in Longmont, heading back to Boulder. It's 15-minute drive, 10 miles away, no big deal. Some dude, she's in the left lane, I'm in the right lane, heading down the freeway. Some dude pulls up to one of the intersections, thinks it's a 4-way stop, and pulls out and smashes her car. Her car's totaled. In the process of trying to figure this out, swerving the whole thing, last minute, second driving, she spins, hits my car. My car is okay for the most part. Driver's side door, passenger, rear driver's side door smashed in, but it's drivable, good to go. She's sore, she's hurt, but the EMTs and all that didn't think it was bad enough at the time to take her in on their own. It's just my car was drivable. They're like, okay, he can take you when we're done here. I'm like, all right. Dude was all apologetic. Kudos to him. He owned it. He's like, yeah, I thought it was a 4-way stop. I ran it. Blah blah blah. Okay, so she gets checked out again. She's getting better. Still sore. We'll see how that plays out because there could be some long-term shit with neck injuries, chest injuries, stuff like that. But okay, that's fine.
Are her boobs better? Is it still bruised from the seatbelt?
Dude, that's still bruised. It went from that bloodshot red though to like the yellow. The yellow starts.
The yellow green. So it's almost there. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's almost there, but matter of fact, she did give me permission to send a photo to you guys. So if I can find it, I'll send it to you so you can see what it looks like.
You're saying that Lou was sending us boobs, but not Duke.
Yeah,
he was at the orgy concert.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't get in more. I'm sorry I didn't get in more car accidents in the RV.
It would have helped, fucker. I mean, Jesus, look out for your boys.
You guys wouldn't even have needed to go to EDC. You'd have been just like, no, just turn the wheel right here. She looked cute.
Exactly. Now you're getting it. So this was Wednesday, like 5 in the afternoon, give or take.
Yeah.
So here we are now, 2.5 days later, Saturday morning, and
you gave her your car.
What's that?
You gave her your car because
I have my truck, so I was okay, and she had the kids that weekend. So I was like, hey, just take my car, go hang out with the kids, do your thing. So the cars and parked at where her place, about 20 miles away or so, parked on the street, no big deal, never an issue. Drunk driver decides to swerve of all the cars on the street, swerve head on into my car and totaled it. So in 3 days, her car got totaled, and then my car got totaled, even after that first accident on Wednesday. Dude was drunk, tried to flee the scene. Cops ended up getting him. It was just one mess after that. I am doing my best not to lose my shit for obvious reasons. I bought this car September 22nd, y'all, 8 months ago.
Brand new, or was it used new?
No, it was used. It was a used car, 2017. But for me, it was my newest car since 2012. I hadn't had a new car in 12 years, and that was the truck that I currently have. So that happened. She's all apologetic. I'm like, hey, not your fault. I'm not taking this out on you.
You were asleep.
Exactly. This is all hell, but not at her. So
right.
It was like I could tell she was like when I showed up and she's outside and she saw me, I could see the fear on her face. She was like, he's gonna kill me, he's gonna do something, I am done for. He's done with me. I could see it. It reminded me of the first time her little one was over at the apartment and she spilled a drink in my apartment. She looked at me like I was going to murder her child. I was the calm one. I'm all like, grab paper towels, clean this up, give me a towel. I was like, okay. And she just fear, just the whole deer in the headlights thing. She's like, he's going to kill my child. I'm done for. She had that same look Saturday morning. So, but again, circumstances are what they are. Not her fault. Neither accident was her fault, even though her car hit mine on Wednesday and then the drunk hit on Saturday. Not her fault. So it's like, all right, I'm just going to look, I'm going to roll with it as best as I can. I ain't going to lie. The whole weekend, I was moody. I was like, I'm glad it was Boulder Creek Fest that weekend, which I'll explain here in a bit. But it was definitely a what the fuck type of situation. I'm just like, I don't want to be bothered.
It's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Now you're out 2 cars. She has nothing now. You got to drive your old ass truck. And it's annoying. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's just annoying.
Yeah, more than anything else.
Like, I got to deal with some shit.
The inconvenience and annoyance of it all, and then trying to deal with 3 insurance companies between the truck driver Allstate, hers, State Farm, mine, Progressive. Luckily, I have the better of the 3. Progressive is handling my shit. They've got it all covered. They're like, hey, give us your statement. We'll take care of the rest. We'll deal with State Farm. We'll deal with Allstate. You just sit back and just answer our questions when we have them. I'm like, wait, what? Her, State Farm, they're not helping her at all. They're like, hey, Allstate did it, so we're not doing anything for you. I'm like, you have to go to Allstate. Allstate, she tried calling them on Thursday, Friday, obviously holiday weekend, Tuesday. I don't think they got back to her until yesterday, Wednesday. Wow. So she's like, I'm switching to Progressive. I'm like, I don't blame you. Progressive, shout out. We could use that royalty check.
Meg,
I also use Progressive.
Peg,
yeah, dude.
Who's the progressive lady?
Flo.
There we go. I would have got there eventually.
So holy crap! So that was so. At the end, she finally got a hold of somebody. I think yesterday. They're like, go. And Allstate. I found out through Enterprise, who most in car or a lot of anyway car insurance use for rentals. Even mine, Progressive uses Enterprise. They said Allstate is probably the worst one to have. They make you pay for your own shit, and then if they consider themselves at fault, they'll reimburse you. It's an if situation, even though the guy already admitted fault, but whatever.
Right.
All the other insurances, they pay the bill. They will be like, hey, go. Here's your claim number. Go here. You can get a car that's valued up to $35 or $40 a day, whatever it is. But Allstate, nah, man, they are a joke. They have not helped at all. So they basically, she got a rent-a-car yesterday. She has it for a week. And, that way she can handle driving around her kids and everything. So she's good to go there. Bitch. And then she has to wait for Allstate to finish their investigation, find out fault access and all that, or officially say so. And then they'll have to figure out the totaling of her car and then send her a check so she can go buy a new car. At the same time, they also have, even though my car got totaled on Saturday, they still have to pay for the damage to the doors that the Allstate driver Allie hit me. So that'll be a situation where that's being resolved. But again, I don't have to do anything. State Farm, not State Farm, Progressive is going to handle me. Though if I have a check coming, they'll pay me and they'll subrogate and go after Allstate. I'm like, sounds like a plan. Day one, they asked me, said, you want to talk to Allstate yourself? You want us to do it? I'm like, no, if you guys can handle it, go ahead.
Professionals,
like, okay.
Bro. Shoot.
Yep. We'll take your recorded.
Shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, right? It's like, that's what I'm paying for. This is service I'm talking about. It's like, I will record your statement and we will send that to Allstate ourselves. You don't need to deal with them at all. I'm like, shit, yeah. So in the end, my situation will be okay. I do have double gap insurance. I have it through Progressive, 25% of actual value. Plus I have gap through my lender since I just got the car. So I'm double covered. I'm double gap insurance. So I'm going to be okay as long as it all
double gap.
Double.
Or gap.
Stacked.
Wait.
They're stacked. They're stacked. So either way, exactly. So
if you only listen to this, you're missing a good part of the podcast.
We should have the AI. We should just have the AI drop in. Duke is doing scissoring. Now Lou is doing moose knuckle rubbing. Now Duke is doing the shocker. Like
that'll get the algorithm going.
There you go.
But yeah, so for me, the end of it all is Progressive called me yesterday. They said the process will take about 2 weeks for everything. Like between me getting paid out for the first accident and then getting obviously I don't get a check for the second accident because they have to pay off the lender.
Right.
But this all should be done by the middle of June. And then from there, I'll just start over like it was September again and look for a new vehicle.
Well, hopefully the cars potentially, I mean, the market is real weird right now. So if you happen to if the car happens to be worth more than you owe, then that would be advantageous because then that would give you a down payment for another car.
Oh, for sure. Even if it's just the first accident check that I get, I mean, it's something. And I didn't put anything down on the first one. So it's like there's a possibility. I'm not even too concerned about that. Yeah. I just want this to get done sooner rather than later. But even then, here's the thing. I don't know that I'll buy a car right away. I have my truck. With the cons coming up, I may just you know what? Let's not have a car payment for 3 more months. And use that money for either savings for Japan or just spend it at San Diego and go from there. We'll see. But if I do get a vehicle, maybe I'll do it in middle of July. That way I don't have a car payment until the 1st of September. You know how I get a 5-day thing? So before I leave, or let's be real, why bother with that headache? Just wait till I get back from San Diego and just buy a car then. And then for my drive down to San Diego, I already booked a rental, which with no penalty to cancel. So we'll see how it goes. But turns out Sam's Club has a travel section. And their rates were about $200 cheaper. So I was like, all right, I'll just rent a car, drive down, drive the truck for now. And then when I come back from San Diego, buy a new vehicle, then I don't have to pay June, July, likely August car payment. And then just like I'll just pretend it was a year ago. I jump right back into it in September, now of 24 instead of 23. And we'll see what happens. And then I'll help Allie with hers, when she gets her check. I'll go because I'm kind of like my dad when it comes to dealing with car dealerships. He always called the agents vultures. I always agreed. And especially if she's going in, obviously she'll buy something new or used most likely around the amount that she's going to be getting for her total. And then paying cash like that, we're going to negotiate. I'm going to handle that business. So somebody is going to not like me. If we get thrown out, we'll go to the next place. But I don't play that bullshit. We're going to be happy. It's like, no, you're going to include this, or you're going to have that, or you're going to drop the price of this.
Right,
so
send your GoPro to Lou so he can record that shit.
Well, I'll put it in the same box that the laptop is in. So.
There you go. But yeah, so again, obviously inconvenient, pain in the ass, frustrating, all these things. However, let's be real. Things could have been a lot worse. We're doing 65 We're doing 65 in a 65, so we weren't even breaking the law. And we got to, somebody comes out and hits us. And as of right now, again, I don't know the full extent of her physical damages because it's still too early. But overall, could be a lot worse. So kind of just rolling with it.
Straight ran the sign instead of stopping and thinking you were going to stop.
Exactly. Him taking off 65 from a stop
too.
Versus cutting across at 65. Holy shit, dude.
Yep.
But yeah.
We would have our little windsock dude here with his black face on.
Gotta have the black. If you're gonna do it right. So yeah, that was last week going into Saturday. But like I was saying about Boulder Creek Fest, kind of goes into white people shit. It's Memorial Weekend. It's like I don't know I want to say the 20th year of doing this thing, give or take. I don't know, but I try to go every year. It's carnival food. It's 3 stages. It's a bunch of stuff going on. It's basically like a fair. They have rides for kids. And I enjoyed it. I enjoy it every year. I got 6 Kona ices because that's my jam at these fairs.
No elephant ears though? Did you even see? Did you even see elephant ears?
Nope, I didn't even see them.
Disrespect. Disrespect.
I was looking, did not see them. I did go to the turkey leg booth. Did not get a turkey leg. I got the big old jumbo Polish sausage sandwich. Big piece of meat. I can't say.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
It was so good.
He just took it out of the bun
and your face and shit.
Dude, I want it in the bun. Come on now, hello. But I did that. Had that donut bun, double bacon cheeseburger. Oh, the Luther! Oh my God, it was so good. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was. Yeah, it was happening. I thought they were gonna do it where they cut the bun in half, and then they flip it upside down where the glazed part's on the inside, and you have so you can grab it. Look, obviously, I have my gloves. Let's be real. I had gloves with me, but no, it was 2 glazed donuts were the top and bottom buns. It was like, holy shit,
nice.
They went all out. But yeah, so that was. But the thing is though, this is again, it's Boulder. It's very white. People do drive in from all over to attend this thing. I was there on I guess Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So all 3 days I walked over. Cause I'm a 10-minute walk from the event, and I would say that I think I counted 6 black people total all 3 days.
And how many of them were working?
One actually, only one was working the barbecue truck. So
there we go. That's exactly what if you would have put a gun to my head, that would have been my guess.
Yeah. One was working the barbecue truck, and the other 5, I would say, were actually walking around. And it might have been 4.5. One girl looked mixed, so whatever. But I'm mixed too, so I still can't. But again, I enjoy it. It's a great time. I like my Kona Ice. I saved my cups because it's only $4 refills. I had my gloves for that because I didn't want that syrup all over my hands when I was filling it up. We didn't want that, so.
Lee walking up for the 6-1 and the cup is just like blue and like peeling off the side. He's like, give me a refill. And they're like, sir, you can't use this cup. I'm not paying for a full one. Give me it. Like they're putting the syrup in and it's just like streaming out of the bottom of the cup.
Yeah. And I got my sugar high. Like I said, it was probably twice a day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that I got the Kona Ice. And it wasn't that hot. It was hot, but it wasn't crazy. We had cloud coverage. We didn't quite get a lot of rain. Like, it rained for 5 minutes on Saturday. But the cloud cover was nice. The humidity sucked afterwards. But, it was decent. Like I said, a decent walk. I'm in a great spot where I can get down there in 10 minutes. So, super cool. Basically, tried to get down there for lunch, get down there. Like, I didn't like the bands this year. Wasn't anything fantastic on the 3 stages. So it was basically go down there for lunch, come home. Go down there for dinner, come home. Same thing. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Go for lunch, go for dinner. I like comfortable food.
Is it like free admission or do you get like a wristband?
Nope. The only wristband is if you're 21 for drinking, because there was a distillery there on site in one of the booths, and they set up a little beer garden type, like super small. We have like four settings of 4 couches, so that was set up so you could buy a mixed drink, and then right next to it, their other portion, they had like the mixed drink over here, and then right next to it was the tasting. So you could, for free, obviously with your wristband, you could try all their liquors. It was like, oh, okay, gin, vodkas, whiskeys, everything. And then, so you go and try something for free and then go over and buy an $11 drink, which is reasonable for that type of event.
Yeah, it was carnival,
Yeah, did that on Monday. So found some shade, sat down, grabbed an old fashioned, and then like a lavender gin and tonic. So, it was quite nice. And I did like their spirits. So I'll probably check out their actual facility in the next couple of weeks. So good place, good times. Again,
they're based out of Boulder?
Yeah, they're based out of Boulder. It's probably about a 5-minute drive from where I am. If I get all the lights, so not too crazy.
And if you get all the lights and the stop signs?
Yeah, and the stop signs, and nobody runs any,
For a normal person, it's a 5-minute ride. For a 5-minute drive. For Lou, it's a 2-week odyssey.
Oh, God. That's not even a joke. So, I'll keep you guys in the loop on the car situation as that plays out. It's like, okay, I got this. It's all done. And then it was kind of cool. Obviously, you have a lender. They're like, hey, keep paying your car until this is resolved. I have to get the official total notice from the insurance, which I haven't got yet. But I had not used my one-time change your payment due date for your car. So I pushed that out. Right? It was supposed to be due on the 9th. I pushed it out to the 16th. That way, because they told me it would take about 2 weeks, and even if it's business, it'll be done by the 14th, right? So I was like, oh, well, let me push it out to the 16th, so I get the total notice, and I can say, hey, you're not getting the payment totaled. So that'll save June's payment and obviously July's. And the same thing with my insurance premium. It's like, do I need to still pay my insurance premium on June 11th if you have my car and it's totaled? So,
I mean,
technically you could.
Their excellent service, because you're just going to transfer it to your new car, right? I mean,
yeah, but if that new car is not for 2 weeks or 2 months,
that's true.
But you could technically cancel it attached to the car.
That's what I'm going to do. So what's going to happen?
You could do unowned or no owner driver insurance, I think.
Well, I could, or I think what will happen is once they total it, because I think this happened before when I rolled my truck back in 2012, 2011, whenever the hell I did it, 2011. When I rolled my truck in 2011, they actually backed it and canceled it on the date after they decided it was totaled a week later or 3 days later. They went back to the date of the accident and then gave me a refund of my premiums from that day. So I'm guessing it'll be something similar. I'm not too, again, Progressive's done such a great job. I'm not even worried about it. I know they're going to take care of it. I will ask the question as we approach the 11th when the premiums due. But but until then, I'm honestly stressing about it. I'm more stressed about to make sure my truck lasts.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was my last week and a few days. Jack, what you got going on?
Since last time we talked, I did go to the Justin Timberlake concert. I liked it. He did a lot of new music. It was JT and the Tennessee Kids. So he had like a band, like drummers and all this shit going on. But towards the end, he did all his hits. He did not do Dick in a Box, so I was a little upset about that. But
the one person after the show's over is Jack going, "Whoa, whoa!"
I was encore. Where's your Dick in a Box?
That's the after party. His dick will be in plenty boxes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it was a good show. I mean, Timberlake, he still got his moves. He was up there dancing still, so it was cool. But it was very, very white. I did the white people shit. And all these chicks are flat in the front and the back. I'm like,
oh, no.
Timberlake needs to bring out a better group of people.
He needs to bring Timberland along with him more.
Something. And then what actually made us more mad than all the flat white bitches.
When you say made us, who's us? When you say us?
The missus. Oh,
okay.
She was more upset about this part. I was mad about the bitches. She was mad about this, but she has a good point. There was no opening act.
What?
It was just this dude out here doing DJ shit. He's like, oh, we're going to play this. Where are all my day one NSYNC fans? Played some NSYNC songs. And he played some okay music, but there was no opening act. Like, how are you going to pay all this money to go to a concert? And bro comes out on his computer. Track 1. Track 2. Wiki. Track 5.
Was JT at least a long concert to justify that?
It wasn't like crazy long. It wasn't like longer than like a normal concert. Like once the main act comes out. Like when we saw Pink and Ed Sheeran, they still put on their full show, but they had 1 or 2 opening acts.
Right. I mean, I'm used to like main acts being like 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah. He was still about 90 minutes. Yeah.
So, okay, so he didn't go longer than the normal.
No,
and still didn't have no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure for the price of them tickets, that's some bullshit right there.
Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer, but whatever. It was a good show. I'm not sad.
And you saw it at Allegiant?
No, T-Mobile.
Oh, okay.
Which is the first time I've been there that's not hockey, so that was kind of cool.
Or basketball, right? Don't the Aces play there sometimes?
No, they play at Michelob at Mandalay. They do have a couple games at T-Mobile this year.
Probably with Caitlin Clark.
They sold out.
Yeah. I would imagine between Indiana, New York, or Connecticut would be T-Mobile games.
Yeah. And the Aces still going to win.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Whoop that ass. Look, did they get dropped down to number 3 after Minnesota took the lead in the power polls And then Ace said, nah, we're going to whoop your ass by 15. And sure the hell did yesterday.
Yeah.
That's women's basketball, Duke, just so you know.
All I was seeing was basketball. There was when I worked at Tripwire many moons ago, there were a couple guys who during the Blazers season, all they would do all day long is just talk about basketball. And so we would just start writing to each other in chat. Oh, looks like it's basketball time. Because like again, it just didn't like sometimes when you get too far into it, like you're just kind of like, okay, like let's take a step back.
Pull it back. Well, you also don't have to care about men's basketball because the Timberwolves just got their butts kicked tonight too. So,
yep, and the Blazers
they beat the best team in the league in Denver, and then go get beat 4-1 against Dallas. That is ridiculous,
dude. It's the highs, man. That's what happens. Like more often than not, you go in and teams don't think you're going to win, and you do, and then you're kind of. I'm not saying you get like full of yourself or whatever, but it's the emotional high, right? Because then you go in and like you lose 3 in a row, and you're like, oh man, like we just had this 7 game. Was it 6 games? Again. Yeah.
Well, Denver won 7 because Denver was up 20 points in the third and choked.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then so we got Dallas versus Boston. As a Lakers fan, I can't root for Boston.
Yep. That's against your religion.
Yep. And then Dallas, I don't know that I care too much, but it don't matter. I don't watch a lot of NBA anyway. I watch more WNBA than I do NBA, and that's obviously because of the Aces. But basketball, I don't know. Men's basketball, I just can't get into it. I can watch the last 2 minutes of the game.
About it.
The rest of it's boring.
Yep.
So
all that matters is like 97 days till the NFL season kicks off.
Hey, OTA is already happening. I'm already keeping track of what's going on.
Voluntary OTAs are happening. I'm in.
Yep. For real. Hockey's just about over. They still have to figure out who's going to be in that. But
that shit was over a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's still not over yet? But other than that, we've been cleaning out my mother-in-law's house next door. We finally got the garage done. Because it's sold. I think it's supposed to close in a week or 2.
2. I think you said 2 weeks.
Yeah. So that's done. We got somebody that's going to work on the car, the Chevelle.
Oh, it found somebody.
Nice.
Yep. So we got to get it towed over there.
When you call a tow, make sure they get a flatbed. Don't put that shit on a hook.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. My wife is very particular about that. We called them one time and they didn't do that. She was pissed.
I would have been too.
Yeah.
Not to mention the type of car, but the sentimental value that goes with it. Hell no. That thing goes on a flatbed, period.
Our realtor, the realtor that's helping other people buy the house, he asked our realtor, he's like, so how about that car? She's like, bro, you can't afford it.
Yeah. Do you have the same realtor for your house?
Yeah. It's
nice.
a girl I used to work with. I remember being at work and she's like doing all her realtor shit, and I like give her shit about it. I'm like, okay, cool, you can leave because then I get seniority out of that shit. So bye. But no, we've used her for. We bought this house that we're in with her. We sold my mother-in-law's condo with her. We bought my mom's condo with her. And then we sold next door with her, selling this one, and we're buying our new one with her. So,
yeah,
I've made her some money. Yeah,
for real. Yeah.
And then we've recommended her to people too. So, you know, people help them out with their jobs too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially in that type of industry, I get it all the time. Hey, do you know anybody? Like, matter of fact, I do. Even though I'm not directly involved with the different people that I work with on a regular basis in my industry, I get it all the time. Do you know? Matter of fact, it happened Tuesday. It was like, hey, do you know a commercial real estate person? My kid's looking to expand their coffee business and blah, blah, blah. As a matter of fact, I do. and gave him the person's contact. It was like, if you're going to talk to somebody, talk to this guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Once you find one you trust, right, you just kind of just roll with
it. Yeah. So that's done. We got to finish cleaning up the pantry, I think, over there, but we're done.
Not bad.
Catch that money.
Did the people already show up to help whatever they were going to do? Was that the garage part?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
it was Saturday or Sunday. because we had baseball on Saturday. So yeah, no, Sunday morning we got up. Everybody showed up, moved all that shit into our garage that we were keeping. So our 3-car garage now a 1-car garage. But yeah, then we had some vet company came over and they picked up a bunch of shit, donated a bunch of shit to like domestic violence shelters or homeless shelters or something. But yeah, spreading the wealth. Because
like
there was a lot of stuff over there. Something like that. A friend of ours, she volunteers at a shelter.
Okay.
So, like,
it's funny. Like,
whatever you need.
When I don't, I'm not really the charitable person, but when I do, it's almost always Safe Nest, the women's shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have extra, you know how it is. I'm on eBay, I'm selling stuff, whatever. If I have stuff like, oh, that's not going to sell, or I'm just too lazy, I will collect all the toys I have, and I will go to Safe Nest, and I'm like, hey, I'm guessing you have, the single moms here with
kids and stuff.
Yep. This is for you guys. And I've done it several times since I moved here out in Boulder, but I don't have a history, like, and nobody in family necessarily with the DV or anything like that. But for just whatever reason, that's the one that I latched onto. And if I ever donate to anything, it's always that one.
I don't know. You keep scaring your girlfriend like you're going to beat her ass, so maybe.
Dude, for real.
Maybe you're guilty about something.
Next time I'm out there, I'm going to get her a business card. Be like, hey, if I go off, here's where you go.
I know these people. They'll help you out.
You covered, girl. Here.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm going to whip your ass, but I'm going to set you up for afterwards.
And then they bring out a box of toys, and it's all stuff Lou donated, and she's like...
I saw that shit part just a week ago. Oh shit!
So, but once that's done, obviously we got to start packing up our house, and that's going to be fun either.
Man, I was gonna say, man, good luck. You got so much stuff.
But and then part of it sucks too, is because all like my boxes for my statues and stuff are in the above, like the roof racks in the garage.
Oh yeah.
And since we brought so much shit over, I don't know that I can get to them very easily. There's one that's above the 1-car, since we have a 1-car garage now, that I can get to. But the second rack is over there. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see.
Man. Luckily, actually, I was going to say, luckily you have time. But I guess, you do have time. But yeah, you're like 2 months away.
Better. Ain't nobody trying to pay no 2 mortgages up in this bitch.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. You could, but you don't really want to.
Exactly.
So you got a 2-month process with this shit. Technically, but let's be real. If the other one closes in 2 months, then you got a month to move. So you got 3 months to get everything gone.
Yeah. Yeah. But, once I have my casita, that's encouragement. I'm like, hey, you got your own spot. Let's, get the fuck out of here and move over there. So we'll see. It'll be all right.
You can always get super lazy and hire those movers that actually pack your stuff too.
Right. I want them touching my stuff though.
Well, they can. You know statues. What? I would be totally for that, except for my collection. You're not touching that. Everything else you can pack up. I will pack up my collection. Thank you very much.
Stay out of this room.
Yep, that's it.
I'll tell you when the shelf is empty. You can move the shelves, but don't touch
everything but this. Yep.
Don't touch my Snow Bunny Padme.
Oh. Man.
Why is it so greasy? Oh, that's not grease.
Hey, luckily her outfit was white, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys see the
crunchy now?
Did you guys see the trailer for the Wolverine versus Deadpool popcorn bucket?
Yes.
I didn't see the trailer, but I saw the bucket. There's a trailer for it?
Yeah. It's so disgusting.
Look up Ryan Reynolds on Twitter.
Okay, I will definitely.
Let's just say you're going to look at butter flavoring differently after watching the trailer.
Oh my God. I saw something like a couple of weeks ago where they were going to try to top the Dune thing. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they did.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't watch the video. I just saw the thumbnail, but it looks like Adam Savage was going to take the Dune 2 popcorn topper and make a miniature diorama with it, like a Dune diorama with it.
Yeah, I just switched over to YouTube so I can pull it up when we're done here.
Again, so look at Van City Reynolds or on YouTube. It's Maximum Effort, I think, is his YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it should be on there.
That'll be fun.
So we, Lou, you had mentioned I finally got around to seeing Fall Guy a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And I know in our text messaging you had seen it. Jack, have you seen it yet? Okay. I mean, I guess kind of spoiler, but I think that's the first time I've ever actually seen a movie reference like Comic-Con and Hall H with like not being.
And 3 times they did it too.
Snarky.
It was so cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, without it being like a tongue in cheek or it being like it was like a comment that it was like it was like Hollywood has an awareness of it, right? It wasn't like poking fun at people that go to Comic-Con. It wasn't like a Kevin Smith type of like type of thing. It was like just a matter of fact, like, oh, we need to get something that we can take to Comic-Con and like Hall H it, you know? And I was like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen a movie that wasn't like a geeky, like,
like a mainstream kind of thing.
Yeah, like a very mainstream movie that kind of referenced Comic-Con in a way that it was like, it was treated like, not that it was given any respect or gravitas, but that it wasn't like made, and it wasn't something that somebody was like, well, what's Hall H? And let's explain it. It was just like it was like you either knew, if you know, you know, and so I thought that was, I paused for a second. I was like, wait, what did he just say Hall H? I'm like, what the, like, you're shouting out like 0.8% of the world right now with that line. Like, you know, like 90% of the people that are sitting in the theater are going to be like, what's that? Or not think about it. But I
was absolutely more excited about that the 3 times they said it in that movie than I probably should have been. I was super stoked.
But I guess the question would be then is, did they have a bunch of stuff at Hall H last year for Fall Guy, or is it something?
No, because it was during the strike, so we didn't do shit for Hollywood last year.
Yeah. Just thought that was interesting. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
It definitely was one of those that the trailer did not.
Agreed. Bad marketing.
The trailer. I don't even know if it was bad marketing. It was just, it wasn't the movie that the trailer was presenting in any way, shape, or form. Like there was a lot more. There was a lot more drama. It was again, it's a Rogue One thing, right? Like, but I think it was more intentional than Rogue One. I legitimately think most of the stuff that they put in the trailer for Rogue One at one point was in Rogue One and was either taken out or changed. Where I think this was the whole thing was obviously a misdirection from the beginning. I don't think there was a ton of reshoots or redos in this movie that but I enjoyed it. But I mean, everybody's like wondering why Fall Guy and Furiosa aren't making any money. And it's like, well, it's this dry period. I think we were talking about this when we were watching the trailers, like kind of after Furiosa and after Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, there just isn't a whole lot coming out for
Wolverine.
Nope. There was a ton of stuff, like at least every other weekend, if not every weekend, there was stuff coming out. And I do think that there is a burnout. Like people get burned out of going to the movies every week, especially if you haven't done it in 4 years.
No, I disagree. Oppenheimer and Barbie prove that that's not a true statement. You just have to have a good movie, one people want, and you'll be.
But Fall Guy was a good movie. Fall Guy was a good movie, but
it also isn't one anybody wanted.
Though. Yeah, I mean, it's old people like us that remember Fall Guy.
Right.
Oh yeah, I watched that. But they didn't. The trailer wasn't enough that you're like, yes, that looks interesting. Let's go watch it.
Right.
We went to go see Garfield. That was all right.
The whole movie industry thing where all people aren't going to watch movies and they'd rather do this. That is partly there's the convenience of staying home, renting something at quote unquote renting, whatever it is called these days, at home, a movie that's 2 weeks removed from the theater release, where you can have your own popcorn and not pay $12 for it, your own drink. You can pause
it, go pee. Yep.
Exactly. All those things they matter. However, you put the right movie out there, it's going to make $1 billion. Like Wolverine is not going to have the problem that Furiosa and Fall Guy had.
That movie already made $1 billion on pre-sales, I bet.
Exactly. So there's a lot of crap out there, especially mainstream media, talking about people aren't doing this and they don't want that, and male toxicity, and can't have a girl boss, and blah blah blah. All the hate. It's like, no, just put out a good movie. Barbie made $1 billion. Oppenheimer did too. One targeted for women mostly. One probably men for Oppenheimer. I don't know if I'd argue that was targeted for men, just targeted just good movie. Barbie definitely
targeted at old people. That's what Oppenheimer was targeted at.
That's probably true too.
And again, that's part of it.
They still had Florence Pugh butt naked for half the movie, so
right.
It would have made $2 billion if they put that in marketing.
Too, so I definitely not a fan. It's like people Marvel or superhero fatigue. Screw you. There is no superhero fatigue in that sense. It's you've given us piss poor movies fatigue. So nobody trusts you. So I'm not going to go watch fill in the blank superhero movie because we can't trust you're going to give us a good one. But people know Deadpool 1 and 2 were good. People know and trust Ryan Reynolds. They trust Wolverine, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So because of that, that's going to get butts into seats. But if it was some other bullshit like Furiosa, which nobody wanted, people would have went out to go see. And I'll give Jack credit to this. If it was Charlize in a sequel to the last Mad Max movie, that would have got butts in seats. People would want to see, what happened next? And it's Charlize Theron. But with Anya, and again, no disrespect to her, like Jack said as well, people didn't want that movie. It's like, the males hated this movie. It's like, no, the women hated it too. Nobody went out and paid for it. I'm sure this movie will do well in streaming and all that after the fact. But there wasn't something people were, especially, you want date night, depends on where you are. That is $30 in tickets plus $30 in concessions minimum. Are you kidding me for that? No, they won't do it, but they'll do it for Wolverine.
I'll do it for Bad Boys.
Bad Boys too. Bad Boys will probably get a crowd out too. Your final showing. It's usually been good, fun, action movies that popcorn entertainment. So we'll see.
We saw Garfield. I liked it. I mean, who was Chris Pratt? I think was Garfield again. Pratt. But you couldn't tell it was him. So you're not like, I'm watching Star-Lord do his thing. Which is like funny because Sam Jackson played his dad. So Star-Lord and Sam Jackson the whole movie. Star-Lord and Nick Fury.
Jules.
Good.
Jules and...
yeah. See, and that's one I'll wait for streaming. I have no problem watching it. Yeah. It's just not in the theater.
I got kids, so that's what we went to go see. Right. It was that or If. And they picked that. Everybody voted, and that was what we picked. So maybe we'll see If this weekend. Who knows?
If I go with old girl and especially the little one, the 7-year-old, I would
Who's
pick
never
one
been to the movies.
What's that? Yeah, right.
Who's never been to the movies?
Even though she went like last year with her grandfather, but whatever. But if she, I would probably like if we're going to go to a movie situation like that, I would show her both trailers and say pick the one you want to go to, and we'll go to that. Well, we'll go to that first, and then next time go to the next one.
Right.
I like what you're doing. So.
Yeah, that's what this was. Because we took the little one to IHOP, and they have an If promotion going on there. So she's like, I need to see it now. And then we saw Garfield. So
okay. But yeah, again.
kind of like the whole, I want to ride the ride with you. Oh, I'm going by myself.
Yep.
And you get to ride with my dad.
In her defense, though, she is the one that voted for If. The other two girls voted for Garfield. So,
and you were like, I don't care, just kill me now.
I'm probably more interested in If than I am Garfield.
But it was about a cat. You know how my girls are.
Oh, that's a good point. Enough said right there.
Yeah.
Your choice was already made.
I'm like, whatever. I'll go see both of them. Buy tickets for both shows. Let's go. I'll refill the popcorn bucket.
Dude, you guys are...
I don't want... I don't know. Words that I never wanted to hear Jack say. Let me just refill that popcorn bucket. Do you need any butter on that? Nope, I'm good. I took care of it already.
or that might be words you want to hear him say. Depends. It's been a while.
Well, I'm not with him. That's why I don't want to hear it, because then I just get jealous.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so envious and jealous. It's ridiculous. Did you guys 25 years? I'm thinking about like late 90s. I remember doing this. I don't know if you guys ever did. Where you go, I would grab the theater in the newspaper to see the times of everything, and then you go pay for one, and then just hop to the next one. It's like, well, When this one ends, this one will start, and I just stay in the theater and watch 3 movies.
Mm-hmm. We skipped school one day and sat through the first like 2/3 of Highlander 3 because we were waiting for Billy Madison to. Because like that movie was the first movie of the day. It was like January or something. So we skip school. We get to the theater. We look at the times and go, oh, this is the first movie that's playing. We'll go and watch 20 minutes of that. And then we'll go over to, and it was the worst decision we ever made. Highlander 3 was fucking awful. So we definitely had to rinse our eyeballs out with I believe it was Billy Madison. But he more than made up for it.
We would actually just buy the tickets. We're like, okay, so this movie starts now, and then it should be over about then. We would just buy like 3 movies, and we're like, okay, cool. Well, when this is done, we're just going to go over there. But
way to make me look bad.
The dollar theater,
jerk.
Right. No, but when we go to the dollar theater, that's when we skipped. Back when they had dollar theaters, right?
You got that way backwards.
The business is scraping by. You're like, fuck those guys. AMC? Yep. Let me give you $27.
They weren't that much. I still got those tickets. They were $3.50.
The dollar theater in Vegas, the one that was on Trop? I think it was on East Trop. The dollar theater over there, and dollar concessions, so dollar drinks, dollar box popcorn, the whole thing, dollar candy. I was fine going over there and obviously paying for it, but I remember going to whatever theater it was down in the Henderson area, Green Valley area, and I would time it out. It's like, okay, this movie starts at 11, run time is this. At the time, only 15 minutes of trailers, 10 to 15 minutes trailers. So I would
35
and say 35 now. And I would say, okay, we go watch this one here. This will end to get us into this one. And obviously there's overlap for previews. So it's like, okay, this one's going to end, but there's only a 15-minute. Perfect. And again, before assigned seating people. So we just bounce around. And we would do that probably a couple times a month. We would do that and just hit them all and just pay for one and watch the rest. I mean, and I would always just feign, if I never got caught, but if I did, I would just feign ignorance. I was like, oh, I thought it was a ticket to get you into the movie theater, not a particular movie. That was going to be my excuse.
I is ignorant.
Yeah.
I is ignorant.
It was like, oh,
the way you made it.
But it never
I think it'd be more fun if you actually just fainted. Sir? Oh. I'm feeling lightheaded. My blood sugar is low.
Where am I?
Today it'd be fine. Today I would just, especially in Boulder, I would just say I'm a trans lesbian or something, and I'm already black. I'd get away with whatever I want, so I'd be fine. That's the power.
Oh, you own the theater now, sir. Sorry. Or
yes. We're going to sign this over to you. Our bad. We're going to
not mean to discriminate against you.
We have added grape drink, orange drink, red drink, and sweet tea to our dispenser. You are good to go, sir.
All right, we got to wrap this up because I heard rape drink, and I'm like, wait, what? No, Lou, what? No.
I want the Bill Cosby special drink, please.
Well, that BC, the BC syrup.
His Diddy on. Lou Diddy Combs.
Hanging out with Robert De Niro.
And if the episode name of this isn't Lou likes the glaze on the inside, not the outside, then I don't know what we're doing here anymore.
I don't know, Mr. Passing Up Punani or Parchment.
I just don't like glaze anywhere.
That's fine. I'll have my gloves.
There you go. In parentheses, whatever. Got my gloves.
Matter of fact, we'll use the gloves to make the parentheses.
There we go.
Get artistic. Ooh-wee.
Okay.
Man, that was a fast hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, shit.
We had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, we did.
We probably still didn't do everything.
No, we didn't.
But that's what next week is for.
Yep.
Gents, it's good to be back in the pocket. Good to be back in the inconsistent pocket.
Yep. Well, now it is actually inconsistent. So,
yeah.
Hey, finally, holding true to our name.
It only took us 3 months.
We never go off on tangents or anything. Not our style.
What?
No. Very serious and streamlined.
Oh, yeah.
The agenda is written out beforehand. Script. We have a Chat GPT write a script for us, and that's what we follow.
Yeah, none of these jokes are ours.
Nope.
Have AI watch our videos and then give us a script for the next one. That would be funny. See what it says.
Jesus.
That might be a good idea for.
It would just be. Wait, I got it. Hey, everybody, welcome to Vaguely Inconsistent. And then it would just be Lou. Walk.
In today's news, all you gotta do is just put on CNN and I'll just counter everything. It's fine.
Oh, shit.
Wait.
That was funny.
All right, gents. We already covered Lou's white shit of the week, so.
Yeah, we did.
And Jack's white shit of the week.
Yeah, even
more white
Jack.
than mine, possibly.
Yeah.
Especially with the flat ass bitches.
Dude, it was so disappointing.
Flat ass bitches and beef things for
something.
titties.
At least have one or the other. Come on now.
Dude,
right? Get the boom or the pow. I don't care which. Just have one or the other. Matter of fact, I prefer you to have that ass. If you got small titties, we can be friends. I mean, especially if you got small titties and big nipples, we can definitely be friends. But you got to have an ass, or I want nothing to do with you.
Fair.
And now
and for the first time, Lewis's black is showing.
Finally, after 3 months.
He is black, people. He's not Indian. I told you he wasn't Aborigine.
Opening up next week. So, Lou, what's going on? Well, guys, I'm single.
No, I ain't got to worry about that. She got an ass. We're good.
There we go. All right.
She did. Okay, for real. We're done.
All right.
We'll see you guys
Peace.
next week. Bye.